Good morning, my friends. Happy Sunday. Goodness gracious. It is. Well, we're into some really incredible energies right now. My name's Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and yes, I am wearing 2 pairs of glasses. It's a little bright out here, so I may go like this once in a while, and you'll go, what the hell is going on? And you'll be like, she's adorable, and I will have to agree with you. Sorry. It's a little chilly out today. I like it. It's really nice. I like when things are crisp. My name's Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and we're here to get out of religion and into our true paths. That is what I do on Sundays. We talk about all of the real truths about how you actually do things like read yourself, read the sacred texts without all of the overlay of religion that makes you completely spit crazy. And I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm a workshop leader. I have a workshop called Off the Hook, which takes us out of the dogmatic, out of the here's how you're supposed to be, and into being you. So it's a real nice bypass because it gives you personal growth without the trauma, which is, thank you very much, yes. Gives you personal growth without the suffering. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, I hope you're having a great Sunday, and I do have some tarot cards with me. But mostly what I do here is I talk about the things that will help you break your consciousness out of the rigidity that we've been taught to have. We've just been taught to have such rigidity about who we are in the world, who we are as individuals. We have some basic things that have been told to us that we've also implanted. Oh, I just got a couple of cards popped out for us. We've had some ideas planted in our head. Thank you, religion, and thank you, just our society, the way that it works. And to give you an example or two, one is this idea: you are flawed, you are wrong, there's something wrong with you. And the reason that one is tough is because there are things that you want to have be different. There are things that you're doing that you wish you weren't doing, or other things you wish you were doing. And so it sits right where it's supposed to sit, between you and your free will, because it convinces you from the inside that there's something wrong with you, and therefore you can try to fix yourself, it tells you, but it tells you you're probably not going to win. That's not true. I'm somebody who cured herself of an incredibly pernicious disease in days that I'd had for decades. And I didn't do it by shooting on myself or, just like trying to break every single rule. I eventually had to break the rules that were the most important ones, which were the rule-following ones that say there is a way and there's no other way. Patricia. Hi, Patricia. Or should I call you Trish? I'll just call you Trish. By the way, you guys, I am temporarily, for some reason I don't understand, banned from DMing people, and I'm not able to get your DMs. Greetings, Bluebonnet. So lovely to have you here. Greetings from Ohio. We're neighbors, basically. There are all of these spiritual, religious rules, and I say spiritual as well as religious because what's happening right now in our world, and it's so deeply spiritual, is that we've come out of the age of Pisces, and we're now in the age of Aquarius. Hello, Chicago. I've got all my neighbors here. A real estate matchmaker. I love that title. That is fabulous. Wow, that's so cool. That is just brilliant. I love it. Wow, what was I saying? I got so swept away. Only for 55 plus. Yes. Well, put your info in there so people can find you, babe. Let's help each other grow, all right? Like, there's no reason not to. There's no such thing as competition, really. It doesn't really exist, honestly. So we are in this period of, we're now in the age of Aquarius. What the hell does it mean? One of the things about my work is that I am absolutely not interested in giving you information that you can go, well, that felt good for an hour and now I have to go back to my life. I want to give you information and inspiration and insight that gives you the opportunity for actually applying all of the stuff that we keep saying we believe, actually applying it to our own lives and seeing improvement, seeing what improvement even means, because for us improvement has meant a lot of stuff that it's just really not meant. I have to put this up, it's a little too chilly. Let me know if you can't hear me, because the wind will blow and it'll be a thing. Here we are in the age of Aquarius. What does it mean? It means that we have left an age which says it's an age of growth. It's not a bad age, but it's an age of growth that said learn to trust. Learn about trust. We're on this massive, apparently, I've been reading some incredible stuff this morning, but we're on this incredible human journey to return to our source. Now, you've heard that before. That's not exactly new, okay? But the scope of this is what is new for me. Sharmitria! Hello, baby. How are you? Good to have you. So every eon, every human time of evolution takes 26,000 years. The start of the one that we've just completed, oh my God, started with what's that, Atlantia. It started that far back, like 26,000 freaking years. That's a long time ago. So here we are. What have we come to? Well, we've come to a lot of brain knowledge, certainly, but what have we come to in terms of evolution? Well, I leave that to you actually to think about, because we have enough people giving us their answers. I will give you some of mine. I'm not going to leave you hanging, but what have we learned? What has been? It's a fascinating thing. What have we learned over 26,000 years? A lot of mental information. Have we opened our consciousness? Yes, we have. Yeah, we really have. But there's more to go. And now here we are in the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is about innovation. It is about the new. What is it to be in this evolutionary process? What is that? What does that mean we're supposed to be doing? And well, part of it is the not doing. This is exactly what I want to say to you. When it comes to religion, spirituality, and the way it's all been posited, it's all been given to us as, here's some more rules that you have to follow. Here's some more things you have to do. And if you've probably noticed that you've been doing a lot over a lot of years and it hasn't been helping. Like, it might help you survive, right? Which is a good thing. But has it helped you rise? Has it helped you have the life that you want to have? Has it helped you become the person you want to be? Has it helped you succeed? Has it helped you be happy? Has it helped you heal? And you have to be honest and say to yourself, no, it really hasn't. For the most part, it really has not. So now you've got a choice. When you're honest about it and you go, okay, I've been following this religion, this spirituality, all of this stuff. I love it, or I hate it, or whatever with it, but it hasn't helped me sufficiently. Now you have a choice. You can either beat the hell out of yourself and keep trying. This is what Lori did. That's me, I'm Lori. That is what I did. Thank you, Blue Bonnet. Ooh, a fan. So you can beat the hell out of yourself and go back to trying again, which is, you already know this. This is the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Or you can say, there must be a hidden door here. I'm gonna find it. Would you guys please keep hitting those hearts? I love you. Thank you so much for doing that. And also, if you would share this out, that would be cool. We can get some more refugees from religious hoo-ha in here. You have a choice now. Do you stick with what you know because you're afraid, understandably, of that place of, but I don't know what else to do? Or do you give yourself a moment? Do you sit and you go, I'm out of answers? Because that is the place that is called surrender. That word is very, very loaded, but that's the place called surrender. And what happens with that, it's not that you're surrendering yourself to the void. No, you are allowing in intuition, inspiration, the divine. You're allowing it to come in. Because what has happened to us is that part of our consciousness and our behavior has been co-opted. We've been programmed to avoid it, ignore it, shame it, kick it to the curb, disrespect it. We've been taught to live a truncated version of our human selves, and that truncated version is mainly mental. It's been mainly mental. The brain is a good thing. We kind of need that thing. Hello, David. It's kind of a good thing, right? It's kind of a great thing. I have a fantastic freaking brain. But you know what I also have that took me forever to stop shooting on is my emotional, intuitive, spiritual experience. The being of me, the complete being of me. Because what we do, especially as spiritual seekers, is we run out to go get free of the misery, and we go into the spirituality, but we bring with it the rules of religion. That's what we do. We bring in the rules of religion. And we go, well, I have to judge myself. I have to see if I'm doing it right or wrong. I have to see if I'm making progress or not making progress. I have to look for what's wrong with me so I can fix it. All of that is exactly the wrong place to look, because we've been trained to do that. It's not that we're stupid. We're incredibly brilliant people. No lie. But you've been taught patterns that you don't even know are there. I call them patriarchal loops. And the patriarchal setup of the last 500 years. I know it seems like it should be more than 500, but the patriarchal setup of the last 500 years has a basis. And so we've all been trapped in in my work, I call it the patriarchal castle. Each of us is like the damsel in distress in the tower of the castle, never knowing that there's actually a door there that is never guarded, and that we can walk out at any moment, not for good. We can keep coming in and out and experiencing and expressing and working with our free self until it becomes so common and natural for us that we suddenly look back and go, I'm not who I was. Shelley, my darling, how are you, purple one? You've been hanging out with Prince in the purple vastness of the universe. So here you are, you're stuck in the patriarchal tower. And do you know what keeps you there? Is the one castle rule. Hello, Nikki. Good morning, darlings. Thank you for being with me. I love you. Happy Sunday. What's keeping you locked in that patriarchal tower is one belief or one rule that's been set for us by the patriarchal castle. And it damns the feminine. It damns the feminine. So it especially hurts women, but yes, it also hurts men. And it definitely hurts us. This is why everything is breaking down. The system can no longer support this imbalance. And the reason that it can't support it anymore is not only astrological, but it's us. We've been making more room for more possibilities. We've been preparing for the age of Aquarius. We've been going, hey, it's okay if you're gay. It's okay if you're trans. We've been going, hey, I think that MAGA is complete insanity, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to put up boundaries, but not make hatred a part of the whole thing and keep the whole thing going. Like, there's so much here to work with, right? So much. But if we do it by the one rule of the patriarchal castle, and we never see that there are other options to add in, then we get stuck. We don't want to be stuck. We really don't want to get stuck. And right now we're stuck. Most of the time we're stuck. So let me tell you what that one rule is that has been given to you. It is an instruction that says, here is reality. And the reality is, you have no power. You don't matter more than we do. Someone else does. And whoever that someone else or something else is, that patriarchal castle, we have the power. And we will give you or not give you what you are due. And you will never know what you've done. You'll never know what you've done that made that happen. That's the rule. It's a rule about blindness. Don't pay no attention to that emotion behind the curtain. Pay no attention to that feminine that is so powerful that it has spent, that the patriarchy has spent 500 freaking years successfully oppressing, repressing, and unaliving it and abusing it. So, are you ready to see where that open door is within you, within us, that is practical? This is practical spirituality. Because you know the dogma already. You know all the isms. You know them all. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. That may be true. I believe that that is the actual truth, and that's my experience. That's why I believe it, because it's my experience. If I don't have an experience, I can't believe it. I have to test it. Using me. Using my life. Does it help me? Does it not help me? Does it leave me meh? You know, like, what's the deal? What's happening? How do I make this spiritual stuff actually practical and work for me? And that is what I want other people to be doing. And in order to do that, because a lot of people are doing that, in order to do that, one of the things I want to show you is where there is a huge structural pair of sunglasses that aren't nearly as cool as these, but there's a huge set of glasses that are over your face, and they're so close to your face that you can't even see it. You can't even see it. And it is that patriarchal veil. But let me explain what that is. It gives it to you in, again, what I call patriarchal loops. Okay, I'm going to get up and walk because it's getting cold and it's getting windy, and you might not be able to hear me. Go back to the apartment. A patriarchal loop. Oh, Shelly, rock that out. Thanks, babe. The patriarchal loop is something that takes you from where you are in some unhappy place, or heck, even a happy place. And it says, here's how you move forward and upward, which is what you want, right? You're like, I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to be happy. I want to be successful. You know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll just walk instead of going home. Nice. And so it says, yeah, you should definitely want to improve. Yeah, go ahead, do that. What it doesn't tell you is that because it's a patriarchal castle and it's not a community of male and female, masculine and feminine, you're going to fail. It's giving you only one set of rules. So here's a rule that dogs us like crazy. Try harder. Go for the goal. Just do it. Just make it happen. This has caused more suffering in my life than I can even begin to even think about. It's incredible. Paragon's here. Good morning, my love. And you're right, Paragon, I've been temporarily banned from receiving or sending DMs. I don't know why. If you do and know how I can deal with that, please email me at goodbyegoodgirlproject@gmail. I'd be most grateful. Try really hard. Yep. You didn't win? You didn't succeed? You failed? It must be your fault. That goes straight back to that patriarchal grounding of you're powerless. It wants to keep you in that loop of you can't, you'll never get there, it's not going to happen. And that's not true. All of that crap isn't true. But you don't currently know where the door is. And even when you do, the real challenge is, how do I experience this? How do I make this a real experience? Because I never wanted to be one of those educators who said, here, I'm going to give you another 3-step process that you can fail at. I remember Reverend Michael Beckwith. He said something about, that was just brilliant and insightful, about the books that are written about how we can have personal growth, which is very important. Yep. Oh, God. He said they become successful for selling the books because the books are about what worked for them. But they're not necessarily going to work for you. And that's true because you're unique, because you are at a specific place in your life that is unique to the constellation of you. Let me set this up here. Okay. Pretty, isn't it? Okay. So you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep failing, and then you try again and you persevere, and that's a good thing. It's not that perseverance is wrong. Yes, I will. Thank you, Perky. Nice to see you. Perseverance is really important, especially when it comes to survival. The thing is, we're unbalanced. You need the feminine. While you're persevering, you also need room for stopping, sitting down, letting in the feminine, which is receiving. Not receiving willy-nilly, not just giving everything away, not just going, I'll take whatever. It's receiving you. Receiving you. Perky, the Goodbye Good Girl Project is about teaching women leaders through experience, not through more philosophy, although that's a part of it, but teaching women leaders into experiences that bring them out of the patriarchal loops that we're all heir to, that tell us from within that we need to be not quite getting there, that we are being limited, that we are limitation, and it's not true. I cured myself of a mental illness, of decades of a mental illness, by bringing in the feminine. That's the short version. And so I do talks, I do workshops. I have a workshop called Off the Hook, which uses acting and storytelling and improv to sneak right past our blocks and get personal growth without the suffering. And so if you want to be, thanks for the follow, Perky. And would love to connect with you, because I'm also an author. So yay. And you know what? You can take the word aspiring off of your title. I'm just saying, you can claim that. Because like, I'm an author too, but I've not been published by anybody else. Yeah, you're just, claim it, girl. Yes, walk into it. You are, okay, if you're a spiritual person, and if you're here, you are, you've probably heard the phrase, unlimited possibilities. I am unlimited possibilities. You've probably also heard, I am made of the energy that creates worlds. You're also keenly and unnecessarily self-blamingly aware that there's a huge chasm between that knowing and how you're living your life. I want you to know it is not your fault. Listen to Mama Lori, it's not your fault. It is the system that has hijacked your nervous system, your brain setting, your perspective, it has put eyeglasses on you that are the wrong prescription. So everything you see is seen through those eyeglasses. And what I want to teach you, what I am teaching in the world, and I'm putting together some stuff right now. Hi, Nico, is that you can't, so let's say these are your regular glasses. No, we'll call them these. These are the glasses that the patriarchy put on me. And they're super cute. So I'm like, oh, I like that. That's great. It keeps me safe. It keeps me cute. It keeps me accessible to the whole world. I like it. I'm fitting in. I'm adorable. And then you find that being adorable isn't enough for you. And you're like, why can't I find my way out of here? Because you have never done this for just a minute. It's not like you don't throw these away. This is the world you freaking live in. This is the definition of being in the world, but not of it. Oh, God, Perky, I love that. I have a friend who's an atheist, and he's so freaking brilliant. He's a brilliant, brilliant man. But he won't go into the curiosity about how I see reality, and that's unfortunate because he's so brilliant. You were forced by the universe to open yourself up, seeking answers. Yeah. Well, okay, let me not get sidetracked. So here's the deal. We are brought into this world. Wow. Okay. We were brought into this world with this pair of glasses. We were given these as the door prize when we came in through mom's womb. They went, here are your glasses. We go, super cute, thanks. And we put them on. And then we went, how do I see through them? What do I do? And we were told. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's a bunch of rules. So here's what you're looking out for. You're looking out for bad stuff. You're looking out for everything that's wrong with you. You're looking out for things that could hurt you. We were assiduously trained, not because anybody was trying to be mean, but because this is the way our culture has been. We were assiduously trained to look out for the bad stuff. And then somewhere, I don't know, was it your 20s, your 30s? You were told, well, why are you so negative? Or you were told, well, why don't you see what's good about you? And you're like, I don't understand the sentence. What are you asking me? What do you mean what's good with me? I'm still trying to get good. I'm still trying to be good. And they're like, God, you're so hard on yourself. And you're like, well, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be. That is what our patriarchal castle has taught us. And we are really, really smart. And we learned the lessons well. We learned the lessons well. And so the question is not, are you smart enough to find the way out? That it has nothing to do with your smarts. Smarts is all about the masculine consciousness, which is a good thing. But we are so mired in that thing. We have absolutely no frickin' access to the 90% of our consciousness that is actually made from what we're made of, which is infinite possibilities. We're made of energy. Everything in this universe has an energetic source code, including you and me. You know this if you've ever seen somebody who's passed. Before they've passed, they look, even if they're not quite gone yet, there's still some life there. You can feel it, you can sense it. The minute they're gone, that you can see it's a shell. So where did the rest of it go? Because in physics, energy does not ever die, ever. Not ever. Not any kind of energy ever dies. It just transforms. So where does that energy of us go? Well, it doesn't. According to a great saint that I know named Amachi, the hugging saint, she said there's a little girl who was like 12, stood up at one of Mother's Amachi's meetings, and she said to Mother, where do we go when we die? And Mother tilted her head the way she does, and she smiled at her with incredible unconditional love, and she said, you don't go anywhere. Do you have another question? And the room full of adults like lost their collective minds and went, whoa. You know, it was just the coolest thing. Now, for me and for what you must go, okay, Perky honey, take that aspiring off. You're not aspiring if you're writing. Okay. The things that are real and that we can practice, we can step into, we can own, we can noodle with, we can get curious about, are all the things they don't want you to look at. And when I say they, I'm talking about the patriarchal castle. It's what I call the patriarchal castle, which says you are not important, you have no power, we have all the power, we will tell you when and if you can have any, and we're never going to tell you why. So then we make up stories about God, don't we? Oh, God wanted me to wait. God didn't want shit from you. God already gave you everything and said, you've got the ability to use it. Here's your free will. Have a good life. And I will always be here shining on you. That's what God said. We made up a whole bunch of rules because we have at that core that patriarchal idea of somebody else is in charge of this. But something else is the raw material of which we are each made. But what do you think free will means? I mean, I've thought about this for years. And I finally, I've gone through several iterations. This is what you want to do. You want to look at something and go, how do I make this real? How do I make this make any damn sense to me? You don't want to keep sitting there going, well, I'm supposed to believe this, so let me just try to squeeze my magnificence into that little tiny box. Bull, don't do it to yourself. You don't deserve it. You absolutely do not deserve that. Neither does the damn world. Neither does your damn friends and family. Get pissed off about this because you've been held back from the inside. From the inside. And here's the magic. It was never you. What? It was never you. You were taught, this is part of the patriarchal castle thing, of you don't matter, you have no power. You were told that you're flawed. There's something wrong with you. You can't have it. You can't get close to God. You can't get close to yourself. You can't fix you. You can't blah, 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 blah. When you go through your life trying to fix you and trying to, like, maybe if I do this, the world will shine on me and God will love me. And, oh, my God, it's exhausting. Isn't it exhausting? Holy crap. And it's unsatisfying. And that is the thing that you want to really pay attention to, is that it's unsatisfying. Why would you want to spend any attention on that? Well, because everything that we do, anything that we do in life, we do it because, and I'm quoting Abraham Hicks, we do it because we think we'll feel better in the having of it or the being of it. There is no other reason. We just think things will be better if we get that thing we want, or be that person we want, or have that experience we want. We think we'll be better. And we may even be right. Problem is, we can't necessarily maintain it. You know, you might get that great boyfriend or girlfriend you're looking for, but you know, that can also fold. You know, don't you want to have something that you can really stand on in your own self? And that idea is like, that is blasphemy. Oh my God, have faith in yourself. Are you kidding me? I know. I never understood it. And it was 4 years ago when I, in the middle of the worst nervous breakdown of my life, that I came into a non-resistant stance with what was bringing me down, and reached for my wholeness, brought into the party the emotion, the intuition, the sense of the feeling, all the stuff that the patriarchal castle wants you to ignore. It tells you pay no attention to that feminine behind the curtain, because it knows it is toppled by exactly that. If you've ever looked for work, as a for instance, if you've ever looked for a job, and when I was younger, it was different. You could walk into a business, go, "Hi, how you doing? Here's my resume. Can I talk to someone in HR?" And they go, "Sure." Not like that now. Hasn't been that way for a while. Now you sit in front of your computer for a freaking year and, you know, try to figure out how many of them you can put out without wanting to just fall down and, "Oh, thank you, babe. Thanks, Jenny." Yeah, I mean, I hate those freaking online things. God, help us all. It takes hours to do one if you're going to do it right. If you're going to do it and maximize it in such a way, with all the different programs now that you can use, so that they'll even just see your freaking resume. It's insane. But what it's doing, what that's pushing us towards, is an understanding that there's more here than meets the eye. There's more here. There's energy here. There's an energetic, and the energetic is yours. And you've all heard this kind of stuff. This is not new, but I want to give you a new way to understand it if I can. From where we stand within the patriarchal castle, which is very full of absolutes, rights and wrongs and ups and downs and all that crap, which has its place, I know. But we've been stuck there. We've been stuck there going, "There's only black and white. Don't look at the gray. Don't look at the gray. Don't look at the colors." You know, like, oh, crikey. There's something else here that is at work at the same time. And we have been not in charge of our own energies in a way that makes a damn difference. Okay, that's number one. We have been the people who go, "Life is bigger than me," because again, that's what the castle taught us. Life is bigger than me, and I have no control over it, so I have to either manage it or I have to beat that sucker to the ground and overcome it. Those are our only options. And the castle loves that. It loves that stuff. It's like, yeah, keep fighting, keep fighting. Crazy. Because the fighting won't get you anywhere. And sometimes it'll get you somewhere, but it's not going to get you to actual freedom to be you. It's not going to get you to a place where you can choose at any point during any day to feel better. And feeling better is the entire game. It's so small that not only can the patriarchy, not see it, but you can't see it. You're like, what does that do? What difference does it make if I feel better? Welcome to seeing your indoctrination. What it matters is that you're made of energy, baby. Let's go back. You're made of energy. Your source code is energy, just like mine. Blue, we absolutely can change this together, and we have to change it individually as well. As well. We just don't realize as a collective yet that we can, or how that could be. So I want to give you my story in brief, because some of you have already heard it a million times. But I had clinical depression for 40 years. 4 decades is a long time. It impacted my life negatively in a lot of ways. It held me back. It taught me a lot of things. It did all kinds of stuff, whatever. And then one night I was thinking, I was in my 3rd nervous breakdown, and I thought I was going to lose the battle. And I reached for a new way of approaching me. A way that allowed me to both stop fighting, because the patriarchy loves the fight, especially when you fight internally, you're doing its work for it. When you're fighting yourself internally, you're doing the work for it. You're the guard at your own tower door. And I stopped fighting. And I said, oh my God, I don't have anything. I give. I give. And into that moment fell an idea that had to do with an exercise, an approach, a truth-telling and authenticity and unfolding and awareness that I call the 1% solution now. And within 10, I was no longer in danger. My life was no longer in danger. 10 minutes. No visits to the finest. Hi, honey. No visits to the therapist to get a shot. No extra medication. No, none of that stuff. It was fabulous, Blue. You got that right. Absolutely incredible. You might even say miraculous, but now I understand what was at work. And that's what I spent that time since that happened 4 years ago. I've spent time, figuring out what the heck happened, because there's nothing fundamentally different for me than it is for you, in that we're both made of energy. And that energy is made from the same source for all of us, okay? So if you look at it logically, there's nothing we shouldn't be able to do if we can just figure it out. But we've become lazy because we were trained to be lazy. We were trained to go, well, somebody's got the answer. It's not me. I guess I'll never figure it out. Are you kidding me? If you want to, you can. It may take you more than a minute and a half. It may take you more than 10 years. It just depends how much you want to know it. And for people who are in really bad situations like I was, good. Keep asking questions. Keep asking questions. Questions are feminine and sacred and really powerful. But really, if I had a magic pill, the one of those magic pills would probably be to give you so that you would never stop questioning. But not in a way of like, damn it, why aren't you giving me the answer? It's the weirdest thing ever, you guys. It's the weirdest thing ever. There is a truth. Oh God, circular energy, God, Blue, yes. Yeah, well, I have a Thursday group for women in business where we're women and humans first, and the business comes from that, and it's a beautiful community. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. It's free. Send me an email. because right now TikTok in its weirdness has banned me from receiving or sending DMs. So my email is goodbye, good girl project, goodbye, good girl project @gmail.com. Don't put goodbye girl. For the love of sweet God, don't put goodbye girl. That is a movie from the 80s with I can't think of his name right now. I had such a crush on that guy. Anyway, it's goodbye, good girl project @gmail. Okay. I mean, 2 women from that group met with me yesterday on Zoom to help me with marketing my Off the Hook and getting a quiz ready. I mean, like these are people who didn't go, well, I'll do it for you for $60 an hour, which we need to charge, but we also need to support each other in getting to the place where we can charge, right? Oh, Jesus, what a world. So we're changing the world. I'm seeing it everywhere. It's very exciting. And on Sundays, I mean, I'm on TikTok usually 6 times a week. I missed yesterday, but anyway, I'm usually here 6 times a week. And on Sundays, I do Mystical Soul Sunday because we have to be deprogrammed. There's part of the healing that we really need is not from our flaws. It's really not. It's healing from the self-judgment that causes us to look at everything about us and attach negative meaning to it. Oh, thank you for the share, True Hope. Love your name. Love your name. I'm moved that you shared. Thank you. Yeah, please everybody share this out and keep hitting the hearts and stuff because it just helps a lot. Helps people go, oh, I'm not insane. I can get away from religion and still know that I love spirit. Whatever that means for you. Oh, great. That's so cool, Blue. Ah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day here. Here, let me show you around the place just a second so you can, I'm standing in a cemetery. And I wondered for a long time why it is that there's a long tradition of great saints who spent tons of time in their sort of developmental years meditating in the middle of the night in cemeteries. And now I think I understand. There are no vibrations here. You know, the vibrational level here is like, you know. But anyway, here, this is quite it's pretty vanilla in its own way, but it's also still seriously peaceful. I take walks around here and I go TikTok live around here. So there we go. Where's the exit door? Okay. Oh, do you? Ooh. I grew up not far from here, in the city, in Cincinnati, across from another cemetery. It's an interesting. It's interesting. It follows me, I guess. We can go to. Oh, thank you for the share, Miss Lynn. Thanks, Victoria. Thank you. We all want to be free. We all want to be free of limitation. We all want to be free of unhappiness, of illness, of loneliness, of the things that make us unhappy. We want to be free of them. And I think that's pretty damn brilliant. The problem is that we've been trained that there's only one way to go for that stuff. There's not only one way. The one way we've been taught is what the patriarchal castle that we live in has taught us. And it's always about efforting. And it's always about making sure that you make yourself wrong so you can try to find a way to make you right. It's a losing game. It's not your game. It's not your game. But you're playing it. Oh, yay. Thank you for speaking the sacred feminine also, Blue. I see you. Yeah. The rules that we're playing by, I mean, this is the first thing we have to understand, because there has to be a clearing of the mind as well as an opening of the emotional cavern. We have to understand that the game that we've been playing was implanted, so to speak. That's such a bad word. It makes you think of the movie Alien. I love the movie, but Alien, not that kind. No. Okay. We've been indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated from the word go. And we allowed that because we were too little not to. We were brand new to the planet. We needed to survive. We needed to know what the rules of the road were. We needed to drink, eat, be loved, and protected. And so we took the rules as is because we weren't stupid. We were like, I'd like to survive because I'm here for this experience. Like, okay, great. But because the society has been so skewed to the masculine only for 500 years, I'm interested in you leaving, Amira, because we don't do that here, honey. Sorry. We have this set point. And the set point is so obvious that we think it's us. We think it's our identity. We say, I'm only human. You are not only human. That is the world's biggest lie. That is one of the biggest lies in the entire freaking universe. You are not only human. What does I'm only human tell you? It tells you I'm limited, I'm small, I'm powerless, and then you're supposed to go, and then I'm also supposed to believe just do it, just make it happen, I'm a strong, wonderful... Wrong game. Oh, great. MF and Irene. Yeah, I love it. Hi, MF and Irene. You badass, you. Loving you back, babe. Loving you back. Oh, by the way, you guys, if you want to be invited to take a look at the landing page when it's ready for my Off the Hook 4-week workshop, which is personal growth without suffering. 15 women or less. Sorry, guys. I have to do something else for you, but right now it's women because that's my primary audience. Anyway, you can go to my website and get on the waiting list, and it's goodbye.com/off the hook wait list. One word. Off the hook wait list. Wait. Okay. Everything always takes more time than I wanted to, but that's how I get to work on being a little more patient. And the reason I do that is not so I can be a good girl spiritually. It's so that I can receive all the things that I want to receive from the feminine. Okay, the intuition, all that stuff. Now, here we are. We're stuck on this planet here for a while. We chose this, God help us, but we did. And here we are, and we've got all these rules, and we've learned all this crap, and now we're like, but I want something else. Well, that's why we came. That's why we came. We came to actually break through the things that we think we know. This planet apparently is set up to be so freaking challenging that you got a couple of options, but the only one that's going to get you to freedom is when you go, I'm going to have to do things, I'm going to have to break the rules and do my own. I'm going to have to make my own rules. What the hell? I was taught there are rules to follow. If I don't follow the rules, I'm going to die. And that's the emotional impact that makes us fear change. That's what makes us fear change. And it's real. It's baked into our I was going to say DNA, but that's not what I meant. Into our nervous system. Right, Irene? Oh, dear God. Yeah, the implosion is real. Implosions can come anytime, but yeah. 50 is when I woke up and went, oh, there is a finish line. It's a funny thing. Age is a funny thing. Consciousness is a funny thing. Thank you, Ren. I'm very teal today, aren't I? Very teal. So thanks for the hearts, you guys. Keep that up. That's lovely. And share me out. Share us out. This is a community. We had one community meeting, 5-6 people came, and then we had an amazing time. And yeah, I'm in your neighborhood, Blue, for sure. And we want to do it again, but I got limited by TikTok for some reason I don't even understand, where I'm not allowed to send or receive DMs. So email me. Goodbye, goodgirlproject@gmail.com. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. How you guys doing? Is everybody doing okay? I hope so. You were in the hospital? Why? No, don't tell me. That's your personal business. Are you okay? I miss seeing you too. I noticed you were gone. I hope you're all right, sweetheart. And Finest, always lovely to see your name. Always. Okie dokie. I wonder if I'm making sense today. I think so, for the most part. You know those moments when you just stop? Thank you, Ren. Good to know. You know those moments when you just stop? Awesome, Irene. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. And suddenly you it's happening to me in this moment, you suddenly hear the birds. Can you hear them? I don't know if you can hear them. I don't know how sensitive this mic is. And now, of course, they stopped. No, they're back. And you stop. And in that moment, you allow yourself not to need anything. Can you let that peace come into your nervous system for a second? Can you sit in silence with me for a moment, for a few moments? It's beautiful. You can feel, I can feel it's like somebody is putting velvet on my nervous system. If you're not that sensitive to how you feel, you can always start. It's a beautiful gift to give yourself. And you can do it tiny bits at a time. You won't overwhelm yourself. In moments like this, other thoughts can come in. Other intuitive hits can drop in. Other inspirational ideas can drop in. Where when you're so busy trying to make things happen, which is what we've been taught to do as an exclusive, you can't access the other. And then you don't have the balance. You don't get to do both because you need your forward movement. You need to be able to try. You need to be able to make some effort, right? But if that effort doesn't come from a place of birth, but comes instead from a place of beating yourself up, it's not going to go very far. There's not a lot of energy in that. Hey, Lexi. Welcome. I'm very well, thanks. I love that you guys are seeing each other. It's beautiful. Exactly. And so I've redefined meditation for myself. Meditation is no longer like, I don't know, some technique like focus on my breath or my third eye or some stuff. I don't know what. Because I can't do that. I don't understand. It makes me absolutely crazy because then I'm efforting too much, right? Then I'm sitting there efforting at meditation. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. How is this helping me? So instead, I now just call it for myself sitting in the silence. And then I heard something on TikTok somewhere about a lady who said that when she sits in meditation, I don't know, she's some lady who was famous in some way, I don't remember, sorry, but somebody's questioning her, like, how do you meditate? She says, I listen. And so the person was like, you listen? She said, I just sit and I listen. And so the interviewer said, and what does God do? And she said, God listens back. What? That's where the magic is, you guys. That's where the magic is. We've been taught to focus so severely. You're very welcome, Natasha. We've been very, very much trained to believe that we are only human, we are physical only, that we are brains only. Katie, thank you, honey. I'm glad too. Thank you. Mwah. If you want to follow me, you head to my website, which is also changing rapidly. Goodbyegoodgirl.com. It's not that you don't have the tools to have the life and the experience of yourself and the healing and all the rest of it that you want. It's that you haven't yet. And don't worry, it's happening. Oh, thanks, Chloe, love. It's that there's something over your face that you're not seeing. It's a consciousness shift that you can have that's going to make all the rest of the healing, all the rest of the improvements, all the rest of the efforting of a different quality and of a very different success rate. Oh, there's a bell for live notifications. See, I didn't even know. Thanks, Rila. Ryla? Anyway, thank you. Hi, Quill. We cannot follow the rules that we've been given, not question them, and think we can change fundamentally. And what we all really want, whether you know it or not, is really fundamental change. You really don't want to spend the rest of your life trying to work hard enough to maybe someday, when you're on your freaking deathbed, that you can maybe succeed at something. You don't want that. You want to have a feeling of fulfillment and success in small ways that are actually the large ways, because they build. It's a whole different way of looking at things. And you want to have that daily. You want to have that option. You want to know what that is, and you want to have that choice. But as long as you keep going to church, going amen, and listening to all this stuff about how you're doomed and you're wrong, and treating all of those biblical things as if they were real stories, when in fact they are not real stories. They are allegories that are about how you grow your consciousness within the human body. So the longer you keep going to that church, amen, amazing grace, what? Go home and then you kick the cat. Yeah, that really helped. No, it didn't. It really didn't. I'm not saying people who go to church or that people who run churches are bad. They're not. But what they're slinging is really toxic. Really toxic. And they'll fight to the death for it. Because it's where their security has been planted. I understand that. I get that. Oh, wow. I love big swings like that. I've had a huge swing, not religious, but yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that the dogma still controls you. Until you become really aware of how it's impacting your nervous system, your emotions, the things you say and all of that, it's still impacting you. So the freedom is really in being willing to I'll put it this way, not optimal way, but to bring in the feminine. And the feminine is where you start questioning. You go, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. This needs to make sense to me. I need to be able to make use of this. If this does not make sense to me, let me look at how it could make sense. Is there a way in the world in which this could make sense? Oh, interesting, Chloe, love. Yeah. Yeah, my very best friend in the world is Christian. She hangs out with me because we meet at the place where she wants to go. You guys, we're the pilgrims. That's the wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for? What were those people called who like got into covered wagons and came across the United States and settled in the West? What were they called? Anyway, that's who we are. I want you to understand something. Pioneers. Thank you, Wicked V. Thank you. Yeah, we are consciousness pioneers, you guys. This is what we came for. Seriously, I don't mean we came here to become the new guru on the hill. That's not what I mean. But we came here to add our distinctive perspectives and understandings and energies to a world that is new. It doesn't look new. It looks like a piece of crap. It looks like everything's going wrong. And it's scary and it's mean and it's all kinds of stuff going on. It's not good. We don't like it. We shouldn't. It's awful. What the hell? Because we're seeing the roaches in the kitchen, you know, and the roaches won't freaking go away yet. But they're on the way out. We came here to infuse this time with our energy, with our awareness, with our willingness to be more, to challenge. 6 times a week, baby. 6 times, Chloe, love. It's usually 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern, and 11 always on Sunday. At Paragon, I think this is what we need to be embracing, is the explorer part, because we haven't really explored in a long time. At least we haven't explored beyond the universe we know. We've explored a lot within the Patriarchal Castle. Oh, you too, darling. Have a good day, finest. We've explored the castle thoroughly. And the castle is crumbling. And so the question is, where do we look? Where do we explore? What do we explore? You know that thing in the Bible, the kingdom of God is within you. So have you, like I, thought to yourself, oh, so there must be this like little gene or some kind of vibrational bubble somewhere in me that's the kingdom of God, and eventually I'll make it there. That's not what it means. I am. Are you? You must be. Your name's Quill. Yeah, writer, speaker, workshop leader. What was I talking about? I got all distracted thinking about poet. Yes, love it. Robert Bly, you know Robert Bly's work? He's an amazing man, bringing men to the feminine without making them give up their masculine. Really cool. Don't even know if he's still with us, actually. Do give yourself the knowledge that you're not trying to go from, oh, cool, yay, yay. I love writing. Writing is so awesome. Understand we're not in this new age. What we're not doing is we're not despising the old. This is hard. This is hard to explain, but let me try. In other words, like Irene said earlier, she said being the masculine to succeed in the masculine world, and now being free of that is incredibly empowering. Abigail's here. Abigail, I can't get to my DMs. I've been banned from that by TikTok for some reason, so you're gonna have to email me your email. God help us all. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, WTFTT, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, let me turn you on to a writer who I think is the most amazing. If you like sort of not sci-fi really, but anyway, if you've ever heard of Spider Robinson, he has a series called the Callahan Chronicles or something, and it's phenomenal. And you can find it for free on archive.org. You can find a whole bunch of stuff for free to read on archive.org. Public service announcement. So here's a patriarchal loop that I want you to be aware of so you can watch for it. Because when you see it, I want you to name it, because that puts oxygen between you and it, and you can go, that may not be a real thing. And you're going to give yourself the power of choice. Again, Irene said, being the masculine to succeed in the masculine world. And now being free of that is incredibly empowering. Or maybe she meant to say important. Either way, it's true. The question is how. Be careful mentioning other platforms? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, thank you for telling me. Thank you. That's probably, okay, because I mentioned another one, my last one, and they went, "You're banned!" I'm like, okay, fine. The loop that the patriarchy loves is the fighting loop. We've talked about that. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. They love for you to fight because they know that fighting is not forward movement. It's just not. Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ba. As we move out of Oh, Irene, thank you for that. Awesome. You guys are all keeping me out of trouble. Thank you very much. Wow. We live in a culture, we've been taken over emotionally, nervous system-wise, by a culture that tells us that when you're a captive, you fight to be free. That's not bad advice, but if you're only doing that, you are missing. Oh, thank you, honey. I want to be seen. Love you too. So when we go, I'm no longer doing that thing. I'm no longer following the masculine energy in the masculine world, and we do all that, so we say that stuff. It's much more accurate to say something about how I see the MF in pattern. I see the loop. I see the thing. I see you. And I'm not going to believe in you anymore. I'm not giving you my unquestioned allegiance anymore. That's much more powerful because this is true for all of us, until we actually shift our emotional set points, our nervous system, the literal grooves in our brain, we are not free of that thing. You are kidding yourself. You are setting yourself up for the failure that patriarchy loves. Do you understand? Am I making sense? Because this is critical core stuff. This is really, really core stuff. When you start to realize that the entire game that you've been taught to play is not yours, and you start to ask about that, how is that possible? How is that? What did she mean? Take one small thing that touched you, that made you go, wow, really? Or that made you go, oh, I see it. Work with it. Bring it into your life. Do your silent questioning in your own head as you go through your days. This is where freedom lives, is within you. Not in some mystical way, but ask some freaking questions. Yes, Abigail, choosing to learn a new way of thinking. But, also with that, I did, but I didn't choose the new way of thinking. I choose a new way of feeling, and that allowed me to change the way of thinking. Because your emotional set points, your energetic set points, they rule you. They rule you. You can tell me all day long, oh my God, that I would never do that. And then you go do that. And it's not because you didn't know. You knew. So what is it? It's your emotional set points. It's the vibrational practice that you have in your literal, physical, vibrational blood and bone body. And the only place to go to be sort of upstream of the entire problem is in the vibrational, in the emotional, in the energetic. And resistance is anything but futile. Resist, but what you don't want to resist is you. Yeah, I stopped saying I will never do. The universe seemed to see it as a challenge. That's exactly my point. Yeah. Thank you for making my point beautifully. There's no right or wrong way for you to choose to go, to grow, to try. And the reason I say that is that the minute you get stuck in there's something right or there's something wrong, I have the right answer or I have the wrong answer, you are playing again the game of the patriarchal castle. You're playing the game of let me judge myself so that I will fail, because your healing is in bringing in the feminine. It is bringing in a little bit of relief, a little bit of emotional relief. Forget going for bliss. Come on. You've been trying that for decades. Has that worked? Probably not. Go for a little bit of relief at any moment during the day where you feel like crap. You've just given yourself compassion. Watch out. Yeah, the patriarchal castle doesn't, that's you using the escape route. When you give yourself a moment of compassion, oh my God, you know what happens? Patriarchy disappears. And then they know you winked out for a minute. They can't see you. They can't see you. I remember I went back in probably my late 20s. I was in Boston, living in Boston, and I went to go see Lynn Hayes, what's her name? Hay House, whatever her name is. I can't think of her name right now. But I went to go see her speak in person. This was like right before she blew the heck up, and it was amazing. Yeah, because like relief is something you can access. Louise, hey, thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And so I went to see her. She comes out in this incredibly gorgeous blue, flowing, diaphanous kind of gown. Just, amazing. Not gown like for an evening party, but she looked great. And she apparently, I guess, we were all looking at her like, because she said, what, you expected Birkenstocks? Funny. She told us a story about how she was SA'd by her stepfather. And then when she got older, she married someone who was just like him, alcoholic and problematic. And at some point she decided she wanted to heal from that. Hey, marvelous, marvelous. Tell us what you need. Thank you. I love them. Yeah, I love them too. Thank you. So she needed to heal. And, you know, we all can try it. We can all go try out different ways. There's so many different ways out there to help us heal. What helped her was she kept imagining over and over and over and over, like hundreds of times, she'd imagine unaliving him. Now, for her, that created some kind of relief. But the other thing it created for her was a shift in her energy, because she no longer felt like a victim in her nervous system. She didn't say this. This is me extrapolating from what she said. She suddenly felt her power came back. When your power comes back, have you not felt this? Please tell me you felt this at some point. That you're like, oh my God, enough. And it's not the kind of enough where you're going, I'm going to have to push you the hell out of the way. It's not that anymore. It's like, what the hell are you doing in my room? Get out. And then you ignore it because it's not meant to be there. That's when your power has come back. Not when you go, oh, I see that bad thing and I'm never doing that again. I'm not doing that. Yeah, you still are. You're still attached to it. And it's a consciousness shift. It's not a doing shift. Do you understand? It is not a doing shift. It's not, I'm going to state this, therefore it's going to be true. That's not enough. It has to go deeper. It has to go deeper now. It has to go into your nervous system and into your your physical, emotional, feeling, sensory perception. I mean, this is what I'm discovering now after, God, decades on the spiritual path. that when I sit down in the silence, my big job is to not do. My big job is to receive. To be in the unknowing, to sit in the silence. And that's it. That's it. I mean, this is very new for me. And it's just very new for me. I think it was just yesterday, maybe the day before. Quill, preach, baby, yes. Receiving is defiant femininity. And that's why they don't want us to. They want to keep us doing. Do it. Stop doing everything. You have to do stuff. Fine. Do you have to do it? You have to do exclusively? You better freaking not. Oh, I love that. That's cool, Irene. Just be human being, not a human doing. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, all of the stuff that we were taught from, religion and everything else about, you should serve each other. A lot of us love being of service, but it's been conscripted into something that says keep yourself out of the room and just, give in order to be worthy of. And none of that makes any sense, and none of it's true. And then the thing they really did to screw us up was they made it our fault. There's something wrong with you that you believe that. No, it's just that I keep playing your game, and I don't want to play your game anymore. So let me figure out how to play the other game. The game of being kind, the game of a little bit of relief, the game of let me say, screw it, man, I've been trying this for 50 years and suddenly I'm homeless, which is what happened to me. It complete insanity. This is where we have to clear our heads, and we have to do it by talking to ourselves and among each other, among ourselves, because everything has been so co-opted in its meaning, not emotionally, that it keeps us in patriarchal loops until we learn to see it. And then when we learn to see it, and we can learn to see all the different loops that we're being caught in at any one moment. This is not a full repair in a week situation. This is the rest of your damn life, okay? This is how to live your life as a free person. When you live your life as a free person, situations start changing. But it changes with you first. Oh, Irene, I'm so glad you're here. Grand rising love, says Amy Sue. You got that right. You got that right. And that's the thing that I'm opening to now. And it's really, I don't want to use the wrong word. It's not what I'm used to. I'm not used to self-love. Now, I've come out of massive unconscious SA to myself. I don't mean that literally, but just abusing, being mean to myself and blaming myself and trying to whip myself forward. And that's all from that patriarchal castle of you're a piece of crap and somebody else knows better than you and is better than you, so you better go learn. And so self-love for me is not a mental exercise. That's not how I'm working on it at all. It's when I notice that I feel, what did I say, Irene? Tell me what I said. She says, that's such a profound way to define it. I have no idea what I said. I basically channel all this stuff. Oh my God, I'm iconic? That's cool. Wow. So when I notice that I feel really stressed, I'm pushing too hard. I'm pushing hard and I feel terrible about it, whatever. I've been learning to stop. Gotcha. Yeah. It's powerful. When you realize that that's what you're doing to yourself, it's like, whoa, wait a second. What the hell is going on here? What have I... Whoa, how do I get out of it? What's happening? And so then the question as ever is, how do I make it real for me? How do I make it practical spirituality? Yes, that would be the term, for sure. And you interrupt it in the moment. You don't go spend another 10 years or even another 10 minutes trying to heal in order to get better. Get the hell up and do something different. You flogging yourself sitting at your desk for 30 hours? Get the hell up. Get up. I can't. I have to get the work done. Get up. Interrupt the pattern. That's the point. You have to interrupt that game that's not even yours, that's making you miserable. And the reason that's important is because how you feel is that's the landscape of the quality of your life that you're creating. You are creating the quality of your life. So am I, every single day. You've got to interrupt the patterns that are not serving you. We love mini pigs. You know, Cincinnati, where I am, is we've got pigs everywhere here. I don't mean live ones, but I mean it's like one of our things. I don't know, morning. If you want to fight the patriarchy, shift your emotional set points inside. They can't touch you. They can't touch you. They can't regulate how you feel. They can't regulate whether you're kind to yourself or not. They can't regulate whether you give yourself a small bit of relief instead of following their rules and going, I'm supposed to be in bliss all the time. You're not going to get to bliss if you're right. Yeah, you're not going to get to bliss from there. That's not how it works. You don't just stand still and then jump 100 feet. You have to start walking. And it's just like being at the airport on those moving sidewalks. You take one step, you're 10 foot further down. What did you do? You took one friggin' step. That's how it works. But you have to wrap your head around the idea, the thought, the truth that you are stuck in a castle. And the only thing that keeps it more powerful than you is because you're not seeing it. And that's by design. It's not because of anything you've done wrong. This is our opportunity in this new age of Aquarius. This is our opportunity to see what the game has been and to choose to be part of creating the new. I mean, if you're in politics, a lot of your work's going to be external, isn't it? But if you're not, let yourself be internal about it. Oh my gosh, Amy Sue, I know that. I understand that. It's dismantling season, baby. It's also building season, baby. I'm letting the dismantling take care of itself. And I'm putting all of my energy into this work. Because I have found that that's where the impact is. And I understand energy, how energy works. And so I know that what I focus on increases. Expands. It's physics. It is a tower card moment, baby. You got that right. Dear God, yes. But you know what we always focus on with the tower card is the destruction, and we never seem to focus on what it is making way for. And that's what I want us to focus on. You know, we're afraid. We're like, I can't hope. I can't hope that something better will come. I'm going to have to just watch out for the danger. That's the patriarchal loop. Oh, thank you, Chloe. I love these two. And you know, I lost one of these for like months. And I would see one of them hanging on the loop there. I'm like, where's the other one? I finally found it 2 weeks ago. I went, yay, life is good again. And look, your hearts match my earrings. That's cool. So how are you all feeling? Let me get a little bit of feedback here, not about me, about you. How are you all doing? What's this bringing up for you? Are you seeing things at all from a different perspective? Are you thinking about maybe questioning more things? Are you feeling something different than when you showed up in the room. Unity community. Yes, the support. That is fantastic. That's fantastic. What will you take with you from here? You've been trained to see through victim glasses. Honey, I still do it. Like, we're not going to get, look, this is the world we live in. What we can do is to keep doing this. Then we go, oh shit, oh, it's back, okay, well, oh, I didn't remember I put these on. Oh, let me look at this, oh, I see it. Okay. I'm like, oh, wait, oh, no, still really, no, this isn't gonna work, no, fight. Wait, I'm fighting again, it feels bad. Oh, that's my clue? Yes, you don't feel good. Oh, I'm seeing through the patriarchal loop. Oh, which loop? Oh, the one about obedience or the one about, it's very tricky stuff, but like, okay, I'm gonna take that off. It's not about sooner either. This is very, very deep, Irene. Thank you for writing that. Because it's not about, can I finally take them off? You don't do that. You don't do that. What you do is you practice the recognition, you practice the choosing to look elsewhere, to include other things, and what happens is the loops in your the grooves in your brain literally rewire, and suddenly you are different. Hi, Viet. You're different. And you're like, how the hell did that happen? It happened because you dare to take small steps and get out of the vicious loop of you have to escape. You don't have to escape. You just make the patriarchy irrelevant. You're suddenly able to walk through its walls. Yep. I hear you, Irene. How amazing are we that we chose to be here at this time? How amazing are we? Do you know the courage that takes and the vision it takes? All religions are cults. Makes me sad. To publish ASAP? Okay, so that's is your pressure loop about time and age? Is it about money? Anything that feels limiting or anything like that, that's another patriarchal loop. And so we have to talk to ourselves. We have to feel how we can honestly and authentically feel 1% different. I created the 1% solution for exactly these times, not even knowing that's what I was doing. When we get off of here, oof. Feel into it, Quill. See if you can just feel it vibrationally and let the words or phrases or realizations come to you without you feeling like you have to craft them first. That'll give you some insight. Wait, this is what you're saying, Irene. I mean, this is the indoctrination. But what what I want you to understand is that when you come to this work from where I teach it, which is going upstream of all of the knots of, you are damned and you are this and you are that and you're the other thing, is that you interrupt the patriarchal patterns, and you make a permanent shift. It's a permanent shift. So you go from, let's say you've lived your life here from, you are damned for all time, let's say, and you have that as a basis thing within your body and your nervous system, and then you increase this, you transmute that energy. You bring in something that's 1% better to feel or think about, and you do it deliberately, and you can buy it. It's not something like, I am free of all of my religious beliefs. Yes, I'm done. That's bullshit, and you know it. But if you go, God, that's what that feels like. That's what that feels heavy. I see concrete in my head when I feel it. And it's heavy. It feels heavy. I feel it in my gut. Okay, so in order to shift something darker, I have to have something just 1% lighter. So let me look around where I am right now. The trees are insanely beautiful, but that's not really touching my emotional body, so that's not going to help. Let's see, what else? What's around here that could help me? Something inside of me? My eyes just fell on my tarot deck, and that made me feel better. That made me lighten up, made me smile. Now, you're going to say, reasonably, what the hell does tarot have to do with religious programming? It's not about that. It's about, can you deliberately shift your emotional set point? Because what you're doing is you're shifting your energetics, and when you're doing that, you're shifting the world. And don't get into I got to save the world. That's not what I mean. If you want to understand the Bible, the Kabbalah, the Quran, the whole thing, all of those from the true spiritual, energetic, physics, astrological perspective, go check out my very, very favorite teacher on this topic, Bill Donahue. Bill with a B like boy, on YouTube. He was the real deal. He just passed in January of this year at 91 years of age. And I adore that man, and I always will. I adore him. What an incredible guy. I'm going to start walking back to my apartment. It is 12:33 here in Ohio, and I need to eat. I haven't eaten yet today. They put me on this medication for diabetes, and it's been mucking with my system. It's one way to lose weight. Oh, they don't see any of it. Make sure to laugh out loud. I love you, Marvelous. Email me your email. I'm at goodgirlproject@gmail. Okay? Okay. Chloe, love, I'm so glad you're here. And thank you very, very much. I don't take that lightly. Thank you. Okay, guys. I'm out. I'll be here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Okay, 5 p.m. Eastern. Everybody, a little relief for yourself today, okay? Just a little bit of relief. Happy Sunday, everybody.